Hello, fair listener. Welcome and thank you for following our journey on metagaming by Rum Propelled Gaming. Fair warning, sometimes we are not safe for work, and others not safe for real life. Journey forth at your own risk. Now let's dive right back into Tarath through the campaign Many Polos. Just like if you were at a bar, and you were too drunk, the bartender would cut you off because they know when that limit is. So if you had somebody that was legally responsible for you in that situation to take illicit drugs, then you're less likely to get them than because they're not going to be being sold in those back alleys from shady people because they're not going to make a profit.
Not only like taking away back alleys, like, do you know how much terrorism we fund? Like, the American public funds by buying illegal drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could seriously cut out gang activity in Latin America, not to mention the Taliban and like all of terrorists in Afghanistan. Like, Afghanistan's major export is opium, right? So like all of the black tar heroin in the United States originates in Afghanistan.
Two things. One is, you are saying that we should defund the CIA. I fully agree. Because who is making money off of all those poppy fields in Afghanistan? And the second is that, from what I understand, there was a whole wave of like people with literal MBAs taking over drug organizations a while back, decades ago. So they've actually done the whole like MBA style analysis of the drug trade. And as a result, they started pouring money into maintaining the illegality of drugs. The drug dealers did.
Oh, yeah.
That's wild, because they didn't want to lose the revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah. The business is literally unsustainable if they can't mark it up for being illegal.
Oh, yeah, no.
Price it by actual value. Then by their current models, they cannot make any money and they will lose money hand over.
That's hilarious. I just think, I would much rather like have it taxed, like heavily taxed and regulated, so at least drug use is good for something. Like maybe drug use can fund schooling. Maybe we can pay our teachers more.
Well, I'm particularly fond of the Portuguese model, which is Portugal a while back. They radically decriminalized drugs. Decriminalized, not legalized. There is a difference.
Yeah.
Radically decriminalized all drugs. There is no charge for drug usage for the most part. I'm not sure of all the ins and outs. It gets complicated at the end of what I'm about to say, but no drugs are completely decriminalized. They didn't put any money that they had saved, right? I know they pulled all that money out. They didn't put any of that money into drug prevention or education the way you might expect. They took all of that money that they saved by no longer fighting a war on drugs, and they put it all into rehab. So they're not going to punish you if you do drugs. They're not going to tell you that drugs are bad, okay, or that you're bad for taking them. But as soon as you're ready to get off of them, you have everything you need. And they experienced like a massive, like in the 3 digits of percent, decrease in drug use and increase in the seizure of. Somehow there were drugstores that were still illegal. I don't know how.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like Mexico has this thing where drugs are legal, right? They're decriminalized, but that doesn't mean like it's okay to sell them or distribute them. Just if you get caught with them, you're not in trouble.
Yeah, there's totally that. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that makes total sense, because what people don't like, I've met somebody who's like writing a book on harm reduction, and there's been some like billboards, I don't know if you guys have seen them, in like California, New York, where they're almost like they're not encouraging drug use, but they're trying to like destigmatize it. And these billboards are basically like, don't be ashamed for doing drugs, do them with friends, like prevent overdoses. And like, like Google it, they're a thing, they're up right now. Like, while I'm for harm reduction and I'm for destigmatizing it and like giving people safe places to do drugs, so they're not doing it in like gas station bathrooms, right? Like, there's like a fine line.
Pause you. Are you running right now?
I am outside walking Bella.
Oh, okay.
I figured it'd be easier to do this now than it would be in like an hour.
It just sounds like you were running. I'm sorry.
No, sorry. I'm like keeping up with her. Her legs are like twice as long as mine somehow, and so her stride is super long. So I basically have to run to keep up with her. But
All right, yeah, safe place to do drugs.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, right? Because like once people don't realize is it's a mental illness,
Yep.
right? Like after a point when you're addicted, you literally it's not a choice anymore, right? Like you don't wake up in the morning and say, it's a good day to do heroin. Like no, like it becomes like out of your control, and at that point, like most people that are addicted to drugs probably don't want to be, and if you give them the chance to rehab, they probably will. I mean, not all of them. Don't get me wrong. We're not a monolith, but
Right.
it doesn't surprise me what happened in Portugal.
Yeah, no.
Well, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say Switzerland had done something very similar I'd known about.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And I was just going to simply say that, well, it's actually a longer story, never mind. But it was a funny comic that got up on a stage and told her story of being addicted to heroin. And she went on stating and describing her story, but it all boiled down to that she'd been many years addicted to it to the point where she no longer seen civilized society as being worth living in, and was just like living on the streets and in her car and to getting the next fix, and that was the only thing that mattered. But then there was this one time, and this is all it took, this one time for somebody to tell her to stop, and she stopped, because that's all it took. No one else told her to stop. But that actually cared about her. But this was, I guess, her sister, and she'd gone into her sister's house, and she'd had it in her mind that she'd figured out this whole crazy idea in this rest of the story she'd gone on and explained of, okay, so I can take this drug, and then I'm peeing it out. But if I take this pee and I resynthesize it, I can make more of this drug. And so just...
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. Like, that's your brain on drugs, right? And, like most people, I mean, sure, probably need, like, external stimuli of, like, hey, don't do this anymore. But, like, most people, like, need a helping hand. Like, it's not, right? Like, like, give people a path, like, an option to, gracefully exit that habit or that way of life, and I like my money would be on people would.
I agree,
because it's not fun anymore. But anyway, sorry, I have a whole tangent I can go on about drugs. I personally think that drugs should be made totally legal based on age.
I remember this.
Oh, hell yeah.
But, yeah, so you have something to look forward to as you get older, so it encourages you to make good choices, right? Because you want to make it to 60 so you can be legally allowed to do cocaine. But but yeah, I mean, if I'm 80 years old and I want to do heroin, like, why not, right? Like, why the fuck are you telling me I can't do anything at the age of 80?
Right?
Like, I've made it. I made it to 80. Like, this is my reward. Not to die alone in a nursing home, but to do heroin every day. Like, what do I have to lose? My eyesight's going. My mobility's gone. I can't hear for shit. I might as well, like, let me see some dragons.
I mean, what do you think morphine is? And plenty of 80-year-olds are on a morphine drip,
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
Fun fact, the war on drugs provably causes overdoses.
I would believe that.
Yeah.
Because heroin tolerance is location dependent. It's ritualized, much like self-harm often is. So your tolerance is higher in your usual shooting alley, wherever that is. But if that shooting alley gets raided by the cops, then you shoot up somewhere else. You maybe don't realize that your tolerance is location dependent.
Oh, interesting.
You load up your usual dose, and now it's an overdose.
That's wild. I didn't know that. I'd never heard that before.
That makes some sort of sense just because of the mind-alteringness of it, and there's generally a lot of prep for those sorts of drugs when it comes to mind-alteringness, because you don't want to set off in any one terrible direction, because then you end up down the wrong rabbit hole. Essentially.
Yep.
You end up with the fear.
Is that a reference to something that I don't know?
It's basically tweaking.
Oh.
A real bad time.
There's a lot of it in my community. I used to live with two people who were relapsing on it. That was fun.
Ooh. Yeah, like I can just imagine like the mental, like the crushing mental anxiety and like just how terrible it would feel to relapse.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not a great time. This is also why I generally, so at the moment I'm not sure where I left it, have Narcan on me at all times. I should find that before I go to Transmarch in Pride, actually. Y'all know what Narcan is?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can get
yeah.
it for free in DC. They'll just actually there's a billboard right outside of my house. Like the Department of Health in DC just like will distribute it to prevent overdoses.
Yeah, I've gotten it for free every time I've gotten it. But yeah, I always keep it on me just in case.
It's not bad. You know, Tylenol, Narcan, maybe some Lactaid
Yeah.
tablets. They all go in the emergency go kit.
If I had the money and executive function, I know this about myself, I would go full Batman utility belt and just have like the whole first aid kit scenario. I've tried
I
it
mean,
before.
really, you just need like 4 fanny packs. You can like braid
Right?
the straps together.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, not hard.
Make the ultimate fanny pack.
You can get people to like cut off the belt and attach them together so it's just a fanny pack. That's not hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
One fanny to rule them all.
And in the darkness bind them.
Full-on shoulder strap utility belt there. Wrap it around a couple. You might not even have to wear clothes at that point.
Just a
I mean,
fanny pack.
you never
A
have to
loincloth made out of it. Oh man.
clothes are definitively optional, says I.
I'm not exactly sure where Warren is. I know Griselda said that she should be getting on soon, though. Within the next 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, because she's got to drive all the way back from, where the hell does she work?
Washington, PA.
That's it.
Oh man, she makes that drive every day?
No, she stays out at her mom's house that lives like 15 minutes from there.
Ah.
Ash and Flint were a little bit late. They were recreating a previous scene of the story.
Yeah, we were baking chicken nuggets.
Oh,
That was a good time when we all made chicken nuggets.
I don't remember that one.
Is that a euphemism for something?
Some lucky ducks get all the luck.
I think it originally was going that direction, at least. Referring to a frisky night over a barrel table.
Well, so who's seen the Bob Burgers movie?
There's a movie.
There's a movie?
What? Yeah, it's in theaters right now.
It just came out
Oh, it's
last
just
week.
released.
Like week or two ago.
Is it worth going to the theaters to see, or should I just wait till it's released so I can
Oh,
stream
it is totally worth going and see it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it will be on streaming services in July, and it will be released to DVD in August.
Dang.
Ah.
The times we're living in.
Right.
Remember waiting a year for VHS.
Right?
Back in
They
my
stopped-
day, we had stickers that said "Be kind, rewind."
They stopped making VHS players
Yeah.
a couple years ago. They don't
Yeah.
even make them anymore.
Back in my day,
I didn't know they were
didn't
called
have
VHS players.
eyelids.
I
Eyelids.
thought they were called VCRs.
That is what they're called. You're right.
I knew what you meant.
Showing my age.
No, I knew that because we had one and I used it all the time. But I don't know. Right now, my brain is not firing on all cylinders. Nope. Come on, Bells. Come on, Bella. That's not for you. Come on.
But ma'am, I want it. It's mine.
Well, every time
Let
she
me
sees
sniff
a
the
car,
bird
she thinks
poop.
it's for her. Even though she hates cars.
But it's for me.
I'm gonna get it.
I was driving on a dirt road, one of these back roads around here, and a couple dogs were in the middle of the road. So I stop, get out. One walks right up to us, jumps in the car, like, "Where are we going?" I'm like,
Like,
"Oh,
I'm ready.
hi, nice to meet you too. Let's see here. Oh, good. You have a caller with a name tag and an address. Perfect." And then the other one runs off back down the hill, disappears in the woods, and I'm like, "I'm not chasing you. You will find your way home." But it just happens that they were at the bottom of the hill and I'm at the top of the hill. And it was only about five minutes car ride, but they'd gotten pretty far. They were pretty happy.
That's
The little kids were pretty happy to see their dogs again, though, so that was fun.
Well,
Yay!
when we all live happily ever after.
Yeah, that was my
La la la.
fun story. Even though we're in the evil campaign today, to come up with an evil story, I guess.
Evil people like fun too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
See, the part you didn't
The
tell
evil-
us is that the dog
The
was a
evil
hell-
version of that story would be, and I kept their dogs and gave them a great life in my house, never to see their original owner again. So the dogs had a great life, but the original owner's like, I miss puppy. Rah."
Yeah, the kids are depressed.
Goes, fuck humans. Who the good puppers?
I mean, all that matters is the dog.
Obviously, you've never met a cat. A cat is all that matters.
Cats are great.
That is true. I have spoken quickly.
This is very true. As soon as I start talking, my cat's always literally on my face. I don't know. I don't know how she does it, but for any period of time longer than like 2 seconds, even then she thinks I'm calling her. I don't even have to say her name. But it's probably because I'm not home all that much, so when I am, she's just on top of me.
Yeah,
Speaking of
you're just
cats.
indicating to her that you're conscious and available to give out pets and or
Mhm.
food.
Jess sent me this one of my cat the other day, yawning in the bathroom.
Yep. Can't go to the bathroom without assistance.
Like, hurry up!
I mean, it takes a lot to use the bathroom. You need that help.
Right? They're there to support me. They always have my back on the toilet.
That's interesting because
Where you need it most.
Demi does the same thing to Hun, but the only time she follows me into the restroom is whenever I'm getting a shower, because she knows as soon as she gets out, she gets brushed combs too.
Oh, she likes that?
Oh, she loves like this hard, it's a hard metal comb too that I use. I have one that I got for her because I was like, I'm not letting you use mine. You can have your own comb.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But, huh, you have a very interesting cat, Josh.
Yeah, she's weird. She also won't. I'm very thankful this is not a complaint at all, but she does not and will not eat any of my plants.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I
surprising
had to
too.
teach mine. to not do that.
Does she go outside?
Very hesitantly. I think she's had trauma in her life. That's all I'm guessing. Because she also has night terrors. I think I've mentioned before.
Aww,
Yeah.
Oh,
poor baby.
yeah.
I found
Sad face.
melatonin treats help that though. So, FYI, I thought she was having seizures. Is how bad they were. But then, like,
Wow.
after doing some research, I'm like, oh, cats can have night terrors too. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess it only happens at night. But if you ever need a good recommendation for animal grade CBD treats, I have. Bella gets CBD every day.
Oh.
Oh.
And I like the company that sells her stuff is legit.
So we're back to legalizing drugs.
Yes.
Yes.
Full
It's
circle.
good for everybody. It's just better for everybody that way.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
This is supposed to be the land of the free, right? We should be free
Right.
to do our drugs.
For
Fucking.
free.
Free.
Alright.
It's a plant. It just grows that way.
Yeah, so that's another thing. If we stopped like making synthetic drugs and we stopped like making drugs more and more potent, right? You just went back to like originally derived drugs like they had in the 70s, that probably would also solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
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 Let's stop making fake drugs.
Make real drugs.
Are you
I wanna
Batman?
Organic
Make drugs
and all
great
natural.
again.
I would vote for president. Have my
Are
vote.
you seriously bad mouthing LSD right now?
No, LSD is pretty cool.
Other than he's a
That's a
lizard
good
person.
point.
Yeah, the whole lizard person thing tends to get taken up by anti-Semites, so I'm not gonna call anyone a lizard person.
I mean, seriously, look at him. He looks like a lizard person. Him and fucking Zuckerberg. They're from the same planet.
Who are you calling a lizard person?
I thought someone brought up the president.
Oh.
So,
No,
Joe
but
Biden. Yeah, he
well,
looks like a
Biden's
lizard
just
person.
old. Everybody looks fucked up when they get old.
There was this weird cartoon Netflix series that I watched recently that had to do with like a shadow government and how
Yes, I know which one you're talking about.
Inside Job? Was that what
yeah,
it's called?
yeah,
No.
I think it is.
I haven't seen that one.
And the one girl's dad has like that hardcore like shameless vibe to him.
Yep. Yeah, Inside Job.
Yeah.
It's just funny how
That's such a
ridiculous
good
it is because it just takes all of those conspiracy theories, puts them together
Yeah.
in one universe, and plays them out. And it's rightly ridiculous.
I'm a 90s kid, you know, so I grew up with MIB and stuff, and I got really excited about conspiracies and UFO stuff, so I tried to delve into it in college. And then I realized that the world of conspiracy theories is actually really boring. None of them have any interest the way that they do in the movie. And like I said, they almost inevitably come back to just the same old anti-Semitism. I was really disappointed in the conspiracy theory community.
Oh yeah, the
They
community.
weren't entertaining. They weren't entertaining, just threatening.
Okay.
I'm kind of a downer when I apologize.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Totally.
I've not dove into those circles enough. That's honestly, I find them just to kind of like.
Pay me $20, I'll show you a circle.
Yeah, I mean, after watching, there's like a legit documentary on the Flat Earthers.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
And like that tells me everything I need to know about conspiracy theories. But also, when I started working for the government, it made me like one of the first thoughts I had, like after 6 to 12 months in the government was, and people think the government is a well-coordinated, well-oiled running machine that's capable of doing all these fantastical things. Like, this is not. That is like,
That's a
like
dream,
all of your
Sarah.
all of your conspiracy theories concerning the government are just fantasies. Like, I wish I could show you this. Like, there's no way this hulking mass of bureaucratic, like stalling and ineptitude is capable of these beautiful theories you're coming up with. It functions. It just functions at a glacial pace.
Right.
They have microchips inside of our bodies, man.
They know where we are. Come on, they track us on GPS.
But
Oh my
what if you
God.
didn't have to stand in line at the grocery store? Would it be worth it?
Oh,
I mean, they have those grocery stores. They have Amazon premiered them, where you just go walk in, grab what you want, and walk out, and it just tracks where you are and what you reached for and what you grabbed, and automatically.
there's also
detects it.
there's shopping carts somewhere. I don't think it's in the U.S., but it scans your items as you put them in the shopping cart, so that like when you go to leave the store, it just takes.
I think it's the
What the
same
shopping
thing that
cart says you
Amazon
pay for it.
stores.
Maybe it is Amazon stores, but I mean, yeah, but they don't have to microchip your body. They already, you very willingly carry a phone around
Yeah.
in your hand all day everywhere you go. I mean, that
That's-
has
Yeah.
more tracking capability and computing power than any microchip they could ever install in you.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Bill Gates' response to the whole 5G conspiracy theory bullshit.
Was
Was
it?
like, yeah, because everyone was like, Bill Gates is trying to track you, and Bill Gates was like, you pay me lots of money to track you. Why do I need to be sneaky about it?
All I'm saying is, after I got my COVID shot, my cell phone reception has never been better.
And are you mad?
Not at all.
And my fourth
Can I get a
autism
second
is-
one, please?
I still hear the TV static once in a while, but that's a side effect. Haha.
Haha!
All right. It looks like we got the crew, cause Gabby just got home and just ate, and she was not feeling well, and then I'm not seeing anything from Warren now. And Chauvin couldn't let me know as soon as we'd started the session here, so that he devoted he could, but now he can't as well. So we got the crew. 19 on a D20 there already, Mamey.
Yeah, for the inspiration
prompt.
die. So
Yep.
not for me this time, unfortunately.
12, baby.
But nobody else roll. Let's all bureaucratically decide that Mamey gets to.
To tell a
I
story
believe
about
it's
it.
called a strike. Wait, why did my 12 not go? Typed 12.
So you got a 12 there, Noosans?
Yeah, is it showing up in chat? Because I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing it either.
Yeah, I just rolled
I
a
typed it.
15.
And hit enter twice.
Hmm.
So
There
that
we
one did
go.
a 12,
Yep.
a 15, and what did Ash roll?
Hello?
There you
Hey.
It wasn't
Hello.
rolled. Okay, it finally rolled. It's a 10.
Oh. Looks like you get it.
go. Boy.
And it is a story that begins or ends with a spilt drink.
There we go.
With a stout drink?
Spilt.
Spilt drink.
Yeah.
I'll spill your drink.
Okay. Hmm. I'll need some time to come up with it.
Yeah. What you guys were doing last, though, I also didn't get any confirmation from Zolas, I'm realizing, but I'm guessing by this point she would have said something if she was making it. And Maria was about to whack out this, she'd taken her shield out to do such, of the lump of a gelatinous cube that you guys had battered down into globules. The other part of your party you heard off in the distance had said that they were taking care of some very loud shrooms, and you don't hear any screams from them now, which were large, to say the least, very loud shrieks.
Large screams?
Yes, very large. And
Shouldn't we
Noosans.
turn Craig on?
Sorry?
Should we turn Craig on?
Thank you.
And then tell me what you were going to tell me?
Now recording.
Oh, that's new.
Fucking Craig.
Hi, fuck you,
What's this?
Craig.
Yeah, he
Such
made
a
the Medusa
sexy
like
voice.
Huh. Hey, updated. Very nice.
Probably needed it.
Yeah.
You can add a note. You can write on Craig. It's my favorite kind of boyfriend, when you can write on.
So Noosans, you
Yeah.
you had experienced basically Griselda coming back into the room after having been in the room with Ainz, and after some discussions back and forth, and you were on Mamey's head during most of that. They decided and figured out how to free Loki, and it had to do with destroying these stone formations throughout this level and corner of hell that are bound to his chains, apparently. And so they were set on doing that first, since they're here, and then they can make it through some more levels of hell and potentially get to the town that you had discovered and had been talking kind of vicariously through Ash and Mamey.
Okay, so it's free Loki to go to the town.
Shofan, yeah.
I don't. Yeah, that's right.
Shofan.
No, definitely. Okay. And then they just left me on top of the statue, it looks like.
So, yeah, everyone walked out of the room, and I'd figured in this particular instance, you had seen a statue moving, kind of curiously. It did it very sparingly, though. Someone had talked to it briefly, someone else had talked to it a little bit longer, and during that whole experience, you just fluttered over and landed on their head. While a gaggle of your companions kind of were in here howling at you could hear them pinging away at some stone to bust it up, but that sound is diminished, and you're just on top of the statue's head that isn't currently making any noise. It just is, and it feels like a statue under your claws.
Alright, well, that statue sounds boring. Let's go this way. Towards... Well, not to the right, like I thought. Oh, I see Alfred.
Mm-hmm. And Alfred's kind of standing back, it looks like, looking down the hallway. Go ahead and roll me in a initiative once you get to right there.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Because
I forget what that face was supposed to represent. I should remember that.
What's that thing?
That's what I'm saying, as I forget. I have the little
Oh.
face icon.
I think that had to do with the last combat, actually.
Okay.
Because that ended also... Oh, yeah,
There we go.
we'd gone back and forth with that combat, too, because we went back in time that you don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
But
The
anyway,
whole Inception scenario.
yeah.
Alright. Initiative, you said, yes?
Yes, I see a 12. Is that that's the previous roll? Never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, I haven't rolled yet. I was about to roll for Moon to remind myself. That would be a good old mediocre 11. The Songbird's 11.
Ignore that one. Ding. Alright. So as you come around the corner, you see Mariel lifting up what looks like a shield of chitinous material. Pretty hard, hefty stuff, though, it looks like. And slapping this goopy pile in front of her.
Okay.
There it is.
Above the table, it looks like they're fighting a gelatinous cube. That
Yes.
8 ash.
Yes.
Okay. I will
No.
act when it is my turn.
Ash is not inside of it currently. Ash looks like she just dodged it. Is
Okay.
barely brushing up against it. For now,
Ping, ping pong.
13 to hit. That definitely hits. I'm pretty sure. I'm playing against myself, if you can't tell right this second. So the Mario.
Everyone go
Intent.
get a drink, take a nap.
I was rolling for Mario, as she'd written in the chat, is holding a land shark scale ready to slap the shit out of the gelatinous mass there. So she walks up, slaps it upside the top of the pile, and where's this damage here? There we go. And it kind of, on top of it, squishing down the kind of rounded top, but it's still wiggling a little bit, and it.
Wiggle. Sorry.
You're good. As with intent, wiggling with intent, and something's happening out in the other distance, and then it's Mamey's turn.
Okie dokie. So I'm gonna use the 3 vicious hand axes. Gonna attack so I can throw them. Oh, it's 13 to hit.
That hits.
Alright. And so I do damage 3 times, right, for each axe?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's 6 plus 10 plus
Oh, you'd have to roll for each axe too, remember?
5.
To hit with each axe.
Oh, to hit. Okay, so sorry. So it's 6 for the first hit.
Gotcha.
I did that. Alright, so to hit for the second axe is... You make a good point. I didn't think about that. The third one, the second one's a 13 to hit.
That'll hit.
And so should I go for my second damage roll, or should I roll
Yep.
again?
You might as well.
It's 7 damage for the second one.
That's a death kill already with the first 2.
Oh.
If you want to describe it.
Is there any... Okay. No, you can describe it.
So your axe, first vicious axe, sails through the air, slams into the middle of the thing, cleaving it mostly in half until probably the last couple inches, and it off to either side, cleft down this middle of this pile, and then the second axe comes sailing through and hits just slightly below that one, splitting it completely in half, and it just falls and wiggles slightly before laying to rest and kind of pulling into a puddle, less of a form. You guys are out of combat for this instance.
Wow, that initiative was so important.
It might have been. You would have been up after Griselda, actually, who was next.
True.
And you could have technically preceded Mamey in the combat or something, too.
Oh no, yeah. It was only because of my role and what it was.
Oh, gotcha. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Aye.
So yeah.
So yeah, Noosans comes and alights onto that pile of rubble right there.
And you guys are standing in the hallway, having just destroyed the gelatinous cube that came down the hallway after the shriekers, the loud sound from up the way where your friends had decided to go and off on their own, and that's why it did start coming this way, you presume. But after you just destroyed this, that was mainly Mamey and Mariel smashing the stone formation after Alfred and Zolas, I believe, dispelled the seeming sort of protection enchantment that was on it. And at this time, too, Alfred goes, I'm gonna go check on Claw to make sure he's alright through some of these sounds.
You really think Claw needs protecting?
More so I just want to, make sure that he's doing all right,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why? Do you think this large party of people can't handle themselves either? Need my help?
Yes, I would like your help. I don't know where I'm going, and there are powerful things down here.
Well, Claw did give you the map.
The map should help.
Yeah, it showed you where the stone formations are, remember?
So it's not crude mazes.
Mm-mm. It's Lust, and Niflheim.
Schneefel.
Okay. But does that tell us? But it's not like the mall where it's like you are here. There's
Correct.
no you are here. I don't know where I am. Well, so I see this. Oh wait, there's spiders. So I see this strange like triangle-shaped thing in the corner, but I don't see spiders. So we're not in that room.
Alfred walks over and looks over your shoulder at the map and points at the lowest portion of the map and then traces up a little bit to the right where there is a horizontal elongated chamber that has a bunch of rubble.
Yeah, with the. Oh, that's rubble, not spiders. Okay. I see. Yeah, because there's that triangular thing, the thing with 3 points in the corner.
Thing with
Is that what a
3
triangle
points.
is?
Oh, that's not a triangle. This is like a
Oh,
it's a tripod. Whatever. It's a yellow tripod.
the thing that you destroyed, correct. That
Yeah.
it is no longer in that shape.
Okay. So what are we chasing again? Not the statues that I pet and respond.
The stone formations.
Are the square things? Stone formations. Are they square?
The squares, I believe
Like the
Claw
orange
had
squares that look like they're on pedestals? Pedestals.
Claw had said were secondary to the stone formations. So in those cases, there's a stone formation associated with them, but then there's an internal rune sort of unlocking mechanism of sorts. I didn't fully understand that one myself, but it's there. And once you
But it's there. You'll know it when you see it.
once you destroy the stone formation, you will be able to see the runes.
Okay. Okay, so
those
just fuck
particulars.
up stones. Anytime we see stones, just fuck up stones.
That's pretty much what I gathered.
So, do you have any tips or tricks for making it past Medusas?
Don't look at them.
You
Noted.
definitely hear like an annoyed "Hoo!" like a loud "hoo" from Noosans as Noosans like ruffles its feathers.
Do you have tips and tricks, Noosans?
Noosans ignores that and appears to be sulking at the idea of not looking at something.
No.
Side note, did anyone ever know about the Tips and Tricks magazines back in the day?
Sounds
No.
familiar.
It was a gaming magazine.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and on the last few pages, they had like all kinds of cheat codes for old games because it was around the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox era. Around like the PS3, 360s when they got canceled because this cheat codes became a thing of the past.
Well, cheat code magazines.
Yeah, internet and such.
Yeah, that too. That'd kill the fun of a magazine.
Anyway, that was a side thought. Continue. Sorry.
So is that helpful? I could ask Claw. Maybe he has some other dealings with him. It seems like potentially.
Should we go with you? Will he talk to us if we go with you?
Well, he'll talk to me. Through me, it seems like you guys would be able to understand. Since I was translating.
I mean, that would be cool. I would appreciate. I don't know how the party feels, but I think that's a good option for us.
I think it is too. I
Yeah,
think we
let's go.
should stick with the claw.
Yeah, 'cause this thing is big. This area down here is big, and we can die pretty easily. So okay, we're gonna follow Alfred. Let's go.
Sounds like Mike's
Show concern for Claw.
Alfred starts, alright, walking back down the passage to the right, and then takes a left, goes back to the statue, passage right in front of the door to Claw, knocks 3 times, and then enters. Claw looks to be sitting at, well, perched at their desk, still mending some books, because it hasn't been that long since you guys had left the room. And
Since Noosans was tearing through them.
And as Claw turns around, he freaks out again and runs over to try and catch you out of the air.
Noosans actually just lands on top of the bookshelf and stares down at Claw.
I forgot. Maybe Noosans should wait in the hallway.
Noosans is just standing there, not doing anything.
For now.
Dunk dunk.
I thought you were going. I thought Noosans was about. Did you would grab for a book or?
No, I'm sure Claw thought the same thing, but
Okay.
Noosans, for the moment, Noosans is a little satisfied with having found that book.
Oh, okay. And Claw then kind of eyes then Noosans warily, but then doesn't do anything after running across the room. And he greets Alfred. And Alfred responds in the same language, and they have a little bit of a discussion that proceeds with Alfred saying, while looking at Claw, I think if I'm translating this right, he's saying something about shiny stones might be helpful. A mirror? Oh yeah, I think he means like a mirror could be pretty helpful. I don't have one. I don't even know what I look like anymore.
He doesn't know what he looks like, but he's trying to change what he is.
Yeah. He's that ashamed of what he looks like, you presume.
So he's. Oh wait, never mind.
I was gonna say, I don't think I have anything mirror or even mirror-like. I have a lot of rocks.
I was about to be like, I know a guy with a mirror. It's like, oh, wrong game.
I don't know how mirror-like it is, but Noosans will dangle the crystal, the key, arcane focus. Oh, I also have a pinwheel whirligig that spins even when there's no wind, because I rolled on the trinket table. I could. Is that mirrored at all, or is it not? Josh.
I'm thinking it could be. Where would you have said that you have acquired such a thing?
I rolled on the Feywild trinket. It's part of the background. Fey Lost is that you get to roll 3 trinkets instead of 1 trinket. So it's from the Feywild, from the Land of Fairy.
I was thinking, okay, so it's from the Land of Fairy.
Side note: I hate the word Feywild. I hate it more than I dislike the 4E conception of the Feywild. That's why I always say the Land of Fairy, because I hate that word.
Yeah.
If it's not mirrored, then Noosans is just going to dangle the crystal key that it uses as an arcane focus.
It's reflectant, I would say.
Hey, well,
I'm trying to guess of what, if it's not actually made of mirrors and or silver. I was going to lean on you too, maybe, and figure out if you'd had a story behind it. That's where I was asking where it came from. But I'm guessing that didn't transpire yet. So if you wanted to,
I don't have a story for it yet.
Okay. If you wanted to pull something out of thin air, that would be fine.
Sure. I'm gonna say that it is the old badge of office that Noosans had when it served in the fairy court. When it was a courtier. So after it wandered into the Land of Fairy, it gained sentience, and then found itself a position under the. I'll use the Monarch, which is from the same book that I like. My favorite fairy book in D&D. In the court of the Monarch as a minor functionary, and its badge was this pinwheel whirligig that just always spun. That didn't need any wind, didn't need any pushing, it just spun lazily. Mm-hmm. And after Noosans discovered the first threads that something was wrong with the Land of Fairy, as Noosans was probably perched above the Monarch's ballroom watching the she nobles party, it noticed patterns in the socialization, patterns in the dance. It remembered strange passages it hadn't understood from the books in the fairy library, and had that moment of realization that fairy was pretty, and even in all of its wildness, there is an essential gentleness to it, a gentleness that can kill, mind you, but nonetheless a gentleness. And realized that it was a false illusion, a cosmological construction over something that was sincerely wrong. And that's what started Noosans down this path. Shortly thereafter, Noosans just left the court behind, just abandoned it, ghosted on the Monarch of the Fae, or at least of that Fae court. But to remember where it came from in its madness, it took the badge of this reflectant pinwheel badge. And when it came back to the world in search of this knowledge of what fairy was, it realized you can't learn what the comfort is comforting you from while you're within the comfort. So it came to the world. It left the Land of Fairy and came to the world. And it stuck it on a twig, basically, to form a little stick thing that it could hold. And it's been kept strapped to its back the entire time. And now Noosans will do that owl thing and turn its head 180 degrees, grab it in its beak, pull it out, and turn back and kind of shuffle it around so that it hangs, the whirligig part hangs down in front of Claw's face while it's being held in Noosans' beak.
And Claw looks up and Alfred says, "Oh, he thinks that might work, but it'd be he hasn't tried anything like that. Mirrors, it seems like, were specifically mentioned, as I've kind of talked with him a little bit back and forth now. So that might work. It's reflectant, and it's. I was trying to imagine this whole time, what badge of office was it? Like, which office was their office, their title?
It was something very long and very complicated and very fey. And relatively minor. Yeah, it's not like the monarch knew Noosans, but it's not like Noosans was the right hand of the monarch. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And probably oversaw something like the painting of the autumn leaves or something.
Because my first thought is that it would be red, but then as you were talking, I was wondering if maybe it weren't the primary colors and altering all the way around. So red, green, blue.
Yeah, I dig that. It's red, green, blue. And actually, let's say the title had something to do with painting the illusions. No, let's not do that. It was painting the color. Something to do with painting the leaves as the seasons change.
Ah. I like that. Okay. But yeah, that's what Claw and Alfred had translated, is that might work, essentially.
Yeah, Noosans just stands there. Like, Noosans hasn't changed. Just holds it hanging down in front of Claw's face.
Claw seems uninterested.
Yeah, I don't have anything mirror-like. I have gemstones.
Flint's gonna pull out his rapier and grab the blunt edge side in between his thumb and his index finger and start polishing it with his coat, and then holding up the flat edge of the blade towards him.
Alfred just leans back and points to it, to looking at Claw, and Claw nods his head emphatically. I think he's in agreement that would be pretty shiny enough there. I'm seeing some. Oh yeah, this is why I don't have a mirror around. Alfred is standing there, looking back between everybody else. Mariel, Griselda, and Zola's kind of file in, standing and chatting to themselves, it seems like.
Wait. Claw's looking for a mirror.
You guys are looking for a mirror. Claw's helping you, attesting towards the validity of your mirror? I don't know.
Yeah, Noosans is
Gotcha.
holding it there.
I forgot about using a mirror against Medusas. That's a thing we could do.
So I would assume that Claw says yes, my sword would work.
Yeah, I pull
Yeah.
out my axe and I say, what if I shine this up real good?
Ooh.
And I spit on it and rub my elbow into it.
Where's Warren's body?
Warren and Chauvin, are off doing something else entirely.
I was gonna say, I know he had a shield on him.
Claw seemed to be excited by the big shiny axe, and as you were spitting on it, kind of licks up some of the globules. Oh, actually, that wasn't. Oh, the stone. That's what you used that axe for. And happily, kind of just you hear him crunching away at the stone. And Alfred translates. Oh, yeah, he seems to think that would be better because it's got a wider surface area, harder for her to look away from.
Do you have a mirror we could borrow?
Yeah, I really try not to keep any of those around. I go off touch usually for my workings. You know, horns are pretty hard to miss.
I bet. Good. I was gonna say, could we like ring for that hellhound and purchase a mirror from
Ask
him?
for one.
Yeah, can we have a mirror?
Maybe.
Ding ding.
Ring a ding 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 ding.
I mean, why not?
I believe that would be you, Mamey, that have the whistle.
Oh, correct. Maybe.
So why not?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Wait.
Worth a try, right?
Whistle to summon Nobunaga shadow puppies. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the whistle. I'm gonna blow on it.
You hear nothing, but then
Nothing.
flames start
Okay.
to propagate behind Chull. And as the flames whoosh into full existence, and Claw turns around in surprise, and a hellhound with a platter on its back is in the place of the flames, and Claw relaxes. And then the hellhound and Claw kind of circle each other and sniff rear ends.
A good greeting there between noble creatures.
Brother! Hey, baby.
So, is the platter on his back
Can you reach
shiny
that back?
enough?
Yeah.
It looks to be of a highly polished silver as they're circling.
If I look into it, can I see my face back at me?
Absolutely,
Does that sentence make sense?
as the hellhound walks in front of you, you could imagine this being used to brush your teeth in the evening if one did that in this universe.
How big is it?
It covers the entirety of its back, front to so shoulder blades to shoulder blades, or I guess those shoulder blades in the back? I don't know.
Yeah, on
Okay.
dogs, yeah. Or they have a different name, but whatever, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the?
So, I look around to the group, I was like, does somebody volunteer as tribute to walk in front and hold the I want to call it a platter. That's probably not the right word. I don't know why I can't remember. Tray, whatever. I don't know why I can't remember the name for it. Does somebody want to volunteer to walk in front with this?
Flint wants to call out and be like, Noosans, since you can fly, wouldn't it be good for you to carry it? You can hold it in your face and fly right in front of them. Because do you have a higher movement speed than the rest of us? Because I feel like you would.
Can Noosans
Noosans
even
does. What was that?
carry this? Is this too heavy? Like, is this too heavy for Noosans to carry?
It's probably as wide as the entire body of Noosans.
Noosans is like 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
So what if we put some strings on it? Like take one string, loop it through each. Does it have handles?
It does.
What if we looped it through each handle, through the back, so it goes through each handle, and it's basically like a pendulum, so where he could hold it with his claws, and fly in front of the Medusa, hold the platter, while just looking up the sky like, wow, man, this is a nice ceiling.
For the record, Noosans' speed is 30 feet, and it loses its flying speed if it's wearing medium or heavy armor. Doesn't say anything about encumbrance affecting it, but Josh would be within his rights to allow that, or to make that happen.
Yeah, Mamey's walking speed's 40 feet. It might make more sense for Mamey to walk in front holding it since I'm
Yeah.
taller. I
I
can
just
block.
would figured No, I just had the idea of like since Noosans can fly, they could like super fast, like fly in front of anybody. But I didn't know about what your movement speed. stuff was.
Touche.
Yeah, it's 30 feet. And Noosans, like, at first, like, it ruffles up its feathers and pulls its head in that sulky position when you first bring it up. But as you break down the flying and holding it from the face, you do note that the feathers are still ruffled and the head is still down but it comes up a little bit and looks in your direction and the head cocks.
So I'm gonna take that as a no.
Alfred's stroking his chin during this exchange and also says, well, you might want to transfer some sort of note along the way to Nobunaga instead of just taking that tray, because as you can see, and he points, there's straps kind of strapping the tray almost like a saddle onto the back of the Hellhound. It's kind of attached to it.
Oh, I guess we could just go ask for another one. Or maybe a proper mirror.
So somebody hop on his back and go back to Nobunaga? Is that a thing? Have we
There's a
tried that?
notebook. No, we haven't. But there's a notebook on the back, right? That's what we did before. We wrote down a request.
Is a notebook, and it does seem to have the previous notings on it. And Nobunaga says, in it, it looks like as the hound kind of finishes its circling with claw and walks up to you, Mamey, having blown the whistle, and looks up to you, or puts its head down actually expectantly, sliding the notepad forward onto the tray, and you see written on it well, greetings again so soon. It must have survived the claw.
The claw.
The claw.
The clown.
The claw. So of course, before I do anything, I'm gonna pat the good pupper on the head and give it a good scratch behind the ears and tell it what a good pupper dog it is. And then I'm gonna pick up the notebook and read aloud to the party what I see on it. Then sit and think about a witty response, and open the floor to any other, suggestions anybody has.
About the mirror?
About the how we're gonna request it. What kind of a witty, or do we just want to make a, hey yo lady, please gift us this thing.
We'd like to commandeer this mirror and maybe attach some sort of payment?
Yeah, could we please requisition from you a highly reflective object with which to defend against Medusas?
Was Nobunaga the spider?
Yeah.
Yes.
Flint will say, why don't we ask Nobunaga for a mirror so we can make sure that... Does Nobunaga know Baharash is dead?
She doesn't.
Let's ask for a mirror to make sure Baharash looks excellent for their next meeting.
Okay.
Because they had their little...
Yes. The question
How
is,
do you spell that? Sorry.
No, it's all good. Do we want to specify a size?
Yeah, maybe like the mirror the size of a shield.
Yeah, or like a full-length body mirror or something. I just don't know if we should be more more descriptive. That way we don't get like a little hand mirror, because that would be no good.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
large, definitely larger than a hand mirror.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a full body mirror. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and write that down on the notebook. Any other requests? Anything else we need?
Not that I can think of.
A wishing of good luck.
Of good luck. Okay.
Also, as a side point, like, Flint's gonna look like he's like just scratching his beard, just like chilling out. But he's gonna put a finger on his nose and be like, "Not it to tell him that Baharash is dead."
Keep that quiet.
Yeah. Cause I ain't telling her what happened.
Yeah, I feel like she can, figure that out when we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah.
Sounds good. See how they feel about owl folk.
I feel like owls and spiders are not going to get along very well.
No.
So owls eat spiders, so maybe a little.
Oh god. Nobunaga likes dragon folk. She likes them scaly.
Like that scaly duh.
Scales.
So luscious.
So lustous. I don't know. Anyway, as we were, a mirror, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to write that down and put it back on the thing, the tray. And
Okay.
give the hellhound another nice scratch behind the ears.
As this weird conversation is going back and forth, Ash is remembering. Ash is remembering very recently being at her home, having dinner with her mother, when they start discussing a meeting her mother has planned to have with a secretive group. This memory is very recent, like right before she started this glorious adventure in wherever they are. Hell. They were discussing the meeting that her mom had set up to have with this very secretive group. Ash did not know the details, but she had assumed that she'd be going with her mother. But as they discussed this over dinner, her mother informed her that before this meeting took place, she would be going on a diplomatic journey to various cities in order to garner them more allies. Ash was very upset with this. She objected very heartily, and they started arguing, and it got pretty heated when finally Ash just stood up from the table and begrudgingly agreed, and she stood up so fast that her chair knocked over and she knocked over her glass of wine before storming out of the dining room.
Agreed to meet with the group?
A secretive group.
Okay. Agreed to meet.
Conspiracy.
Exactly. It is a group that are the good campaign has encountered, but I cannot remember what it's called.
Neither can Moon.
Oh, do you mean the, oh, yeah, the neophytes.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Ba-da-da-da. Inspiration.
Thank you.
Be inspired.
And the hellhound in the meantime had whooshed away in another cloud of flames, and whooshed back with a mirror that was larger than it, probably about Baharash's size, so a little bit shorter than Mamey, but
Perfect.
kind of strapped to the top of the tray that was still strapped to the to the hellhound, who is kind of standing there awkwardly with it.
Huh.
Because the mirror itself is a good 6 feet.
Yeah, how is it holding
Tall.
on to this?
It's been strapped to the tray that's
Oh, okay.
strapped to the hellhound.
Oh, great. So I'm gonna bend down and undo the strap, pull it off. Is there any sort of handles on it, or do I just have to hold it on the sides?
It's got a frame all the way around the outside.
Perfect. Okay. Cool. All right. I'm going to. Can I shake Claw's hand? I'm going to attempt to walk over to Claw, and I'm going to try to shake Claw's hand. Or Claw, whatever.
Claw, claw.
Claw,
Yeah.
claw, 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 claw.
Claw looks at you weirdly as you stick out your hand, and then looks over at Alfred like, what does this creature want me to do? And then you see Alfred shrug and go, and Claw goes, reaches up slowly with their claw carefully and takes your hand in their claw, and ever so gently moves with your shaking.
Really awkward. I'm imagining this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that thing where I look at, like, you know how people do when they're shaking, big, serious, big-wig people do. You're shaking their hand where they tilt their head down, so they're looking you, like, straight in the eye with a very concerned face. They, like, do a head nod. Like, yes, it is done.
Oh,
I'm
you.
gonna do a very serious, respectful head nod. Say thank you. Our chances of dying are much less now. We will depart.
The mirror is still attached to the hellhound.
I took it off.
Oh, okay. I missed you that little
I
description.
went over and I undid. I went over and undid the straps and took the mirror off.
When you had undone that too, you see under it a response, scribbled kind of hastily, it looks like, on the notepad.
What's it say?
Um,
I bend over to read the note.
After you've shaken Claw's hand, you bend over to read the note, holding the mirror that's probably about 3 feet wide but 6 feet tall, and one arm kind of on either side, just as you're leaning over, and you're looking at it, and it says, "To my dear Baharash, I wish thee well as well, and I hope for a speedy return for more escapades.
Oh no.
To that endeavor,
Uh-oh.
find said requested mirror attached. Also, please do not," there's a PS, "do not try to return on the Hellhound. I've had mutilated corpses return that way."
Oh. Well, we should summon it the next time we have like an enemy that we just need to torture.
Yes.
Throw them on.
Chains
Right.
to it.
Was I the only one who immediately heard Janet Jackson in my head? An S-cut-hey.
Oh.
A
You sound
septicapade.
And then there looks
You
like,
sound
at the end of the page too, some purplish, almost black lipstick impressed into it.
Oh. gonna be so awkward trying to explain that.
Yeah, just a little.
Even
We'll say he he ran away one day and never came back.
Yeah.
He went out for
So
cigarettes.
there we were in the middle of nowhere, pitch black.
He ran to the store for cigarettes and never came back.
Yes.
even more awkward when you guys are gonna see this half spider, half dragon person babies.
Oh my goodness.
Half dark
Very.
elf.
I want to see those. They sound adorable.
Let's
They
make it
sound
back
super
there.
adorable.
Let's kill the Medusas, or not run into them. Period. That'd be great.
Yeah. Just walk with the mirror in front of us and only look at the ground.
Yeah. So I will volunteer because I am taller, so at least I'll block everybody's line of sight, and I'll keep the mirror in front of me, so I won't know where I'm going. So I'm gonna run into stuff a bunch. I hope you guys get some good laughs.
As you're talking, you hear at the door. Did that come through?
Donk, donk, donk.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
I
yeah.
figured that's what you said, but it didn't come through.
Yeah, I keep trying to do it. I keep trying to like knock on my desk, and it just won't. it won't accept it. It's like that's not human speak. Nope.
Nope, don't want to hear it.
Filtering. It's
Just
all
give
that
you-
fancy noise filtering algorithms.
Yeah.
Just give your
How
mic
my
like
eye
that.
is too good for that.
I just have to go. Even
That's-
that.
yeah.
No, just
See that one?
just tap your mic.
That didn't work.
Oh.
Weird. Interesting.
I'm out of ideas.
Learning.
You're on your own.
Yeah. But yeah, you hear a knock at the door. Essentially.
Who might ever shall that be?
Another delivery?
And Claw goes. And Alfred says, no. That's an unplanned visit, it seems like.
Uh-oh. Everybody hide.
I'll say, Mamey, you should get that mirror ready.
Yeah, so you say hide. I don't know how I'm supposed to hide myself, but I will come back here, stand in front of Ainz, and hold the mirror up in front of me.
Noosans is going to do the best it can do to be, like, to not attract attention on top of that bookshelf.
Alfred goes, and he just kind of takes his foot, strikes on the rune, and the teleporter whirns to life, and he goes,
Bye, bye, bye.
Just pieces out.
seeing
I
the
help those who help themselves.
teleporter still on. You see a hurried dash for it as it starts to go out of Zolas, Griselda, and Mariel. And then the teleporter goes out.
I see what you did there.
And Claw looks around at everybody and Alfred's not there to translate.
Oh
So
shit.
I
What is
have
he speaking?
I have comprehended language.
Oh hey, he speaks deep speech.
Which I understand. Didn't we establish I understood that? Let me double check.
Okay.
I just remembered. Yeah, I have deep speech.
You weren't here a session or two. That's what happened, and when you weren't here, that's when I was relating it back to. So you understand. That's you guys did have a full-on conversation, I think, at one point, to yourselves. I do remember that now. I
So
just forgot.
yeah.
But
I'll cast
Well, Noosans
comprehend
doesn't
language.
like to talk, but. But what do you say? What did Claw say?
Well, one more time. What did you say?
Everyone ready?
He said, "Is everyone ready?"
Suppose.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like visibly just like staring at the ground just like eyes at the feet of the door because I don't want to make eye contact or even look up with whatever it might be.
Gonna look at Claw and nod.
And Claw cracks open the door, sticks out a claw only, and speaks through the door like through the door, not actually sticking their head around the door crack. And does anyone speak Infernal?
I don't think I do.
Nope.
It was just deep speech, I think. Common, deep speech, and Sylvan.
Not me.
No, I think
What?
Gabriella's the one that speaks Infernal.
Wouldn't I understand it though, since I cast comprehended language?
Yes. How are you doing so, by the way? You have verbal and semantic cues for that.
I'll just raise up one hand and like lightly rub on my earlobe and say, "I hear all."
Okay. And from the other side of the door, I wish there was a way to like subset a channel so that like only you could hear what I was saying for a second, but you could still translate it for everyone else rather than me typing it all out, you know. For you
We
to
could hop into the bounce house for a second.
well, that's what the second channel is here for, but I was saying I was lamenting this because I've been thinking about this particularity for a while. I was like, I really want to be able to like mute myself for particular individuals almost, basically.
Well,
That
I
would
guess
be nice.
we could go to the second channel and you guys could stay here if you're worried about the recording aspect.
No. Yeah, that's another thought too I didn't even think of. But the recording would be fine on my end, but I wouldn't hear anything you guys are saying because of the way that's situated. But it's more so it's just the aspect of me being able to talk freely, and then Johnny also being able to talk freely from that, basically, you know, telephone game, except not, I don't know, more verbatim than it is the actual telephone game. But anyhow, let's can move. Can I move? How do I do that? Move to. Work. Everybody else is hearing guttural tones, but you hear there is a loud noise coming from this direction. What is it? And Claw responds in their language. And I'm going to move. This is going to get complicated.
So Claw said that, right?
No, that was the guttural tone from the other side.
Oh, there's a loud noise coming. Okay.
And then Claw responds with,
Oh, hey.
You
Hey,
understand. You understand what Claw says, Noosans. That's why I pulled you over real quick. He says, this is why I said this is going to get complicated, because I was to Johnny, but
Oh, no, it's perfect. I just wasn't expecting it.
yeah,
Perfect,
yeah.
though.
So then Claw says, not sure. It seemed to be shrieking mushrooms up the way.
Okay.
Oh, not that. That's not what I wanted.
You gonna kick me back out?
Yep.
I can just move, too.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, because I was gonna roll something too.
Yeah. I could just move to you if you need me to.
I don't think so yet, because you're still able to understand both of them essentially.
Okay.
And this is what I wanted to roll.
Ouch.
Okay, so you hear, oh yeah, those damn mushrooms, I forgot about them for a second, and the door closes and you hear footsteps walking away up towards the mushrooms, which you know your friends are at, or companions, if you can call them that even.
So, can I do a... Would animal handling be Medusas? Because, snakehead?
I don't know what you were trying to do exactly.
If I could determine if it was a Medusa talking.
Oh, that would be so animal handling is more like if you're actually trying to interact with the animal. I would say that in this particular case, it would be more of a history or a nature, because you're trying to recall any particular instances. But I would say, considering the circumstances, this would trigger your memory from before too, of when you rewound time, and there was a Medusa on the other side of the door.
Okay. So, history with advantage.
Sure.
Normal advantage roll. Roll. 18.
You also recall in that memory that the Medusa was speaking after the rewind to Claw in Infernal about the glue and the exchange during that time as well. So it sounded very much like the voice you'd heard before. You're like 99.9% sure that that was the Medusa that was on the other side of the door that's walking away now. Alright, ready to jump back?
They go down
Dangerous.
so easily, and it is really, really dangerous. I made like 3 pounds of Jello shots for one New Year's Eve, and everybody was gone. Like, just none of us were mentally present anymore.
Sounds like
Hey,
fun.
alcohol.
It was great. It was a wonderful time, from what I can remember.
So the door closed. You guys heard some chittering back and forth from both sides. On the other side of the door, it sounded more guttural of tones. Just a kind of growling almost. And on the Chol side, obviously, more of the whips, whirls, and jibe giggly sounds that you've come accustomed to with Claw.
Giggles.
And you see Noosans' ears perk up when... Are they ears?
Owls have ears.
Okay, I didn't know if they were classified as
Are they
ears.
visible?
Yeah, I thought
His
Yeah.
whole like head would perk up.
Yeah, it would be move the head.
Yeah.
So it's not like I have like a dog's ears or a rabbit's ears, right? Where the ears have independent muscles, really. It's the head that
Oh.
moves.
Yeah.
I just imagine it doing that really cute thing that owls do when like you imagine when they're waking up, or like they sit up and their head turns, and then the eyes just like blink open and shut a couple times.
Yep. Yeah, totally that.
Whenever Claw is speaking, but kind of looks confuzzled when the other creature is speaking and Flint is listening intently. But the door is now closed and Claw turns her back around to everyone. And he says to Alone and Noosans, crisis averted, essentially.
Okay, good.
So with comprehend language, I can only understand it. I can't speak it. Correct. Okay. I want to try to give Claw like a motion to like spinning my hands in a circle, like get him to come back.
Huh?
And I want to tell Mamey to come to the door and get ready with the mirror, because I want to test it before we go.
Do you say that out loud while you're making the hand gestures?
Yes.
Claw says, I can understand common, I just can't speak it.
Oh, perfect. So can you get their attention, bring them back, and and open up this door?
That's gonna be tricky. Pretty sure that was a I can try, but you're gonna have to hold this door open, and they just went around the corner, I think, so be ready when I come running back, I guess. Wait, what do I get out of this?
The goodest boy medal.
I'm already a good boy.
Yes.
Goodest boy.
But you have a medal for it.
I don't need no medal. I like books. I am learned.
What if we brought you back any books that we thought would pique your interest in our adventures?
How would I know you would keep such a deal?
Can you pinky promise with the claw?
Um,
I know I can't understand what is happening, but I'm imagining like him trying to pinky promise now.
persuasion.
You also understand what Flint is saying. What are you persuading?
That
Just
he
that-
can trust us.
Oh, okay.
That was so bad.
He goes, I don't believe that, but I've been wanting to rid myself of this particular Medusa for a while, so I'm willing to take a chance at the ballroom dance. And he runs around the corner, and you hear him skittering down the hallway.
Hey, spaghetti head!
And then you hear not even his normal speaking, you just hear a lot of loud clicking sounds, almost like subsonic or supersonic clicking sounds, it sounds like, almost. And then the skittering sound again, and it gets slowly louder as you can tell that they're running towards the door and run inside really quick.
I'm gonna tell Mom, hey, hurry up and with the mirror once Claw gets in.
I'm ready. I've been standing here.
And you hear a swishing, and then there. Around the corner, you don't see anything, but you hear a shout. Ah! Let me see what this exactly works out to. Constitution. Okay. Oh, that was a 5. Okay. So, the was cut short as you looked just around the side of the corner of your mirror, Mamey. You see the Medusa's eyes turned slightly averted, as if it had been trying to look away from the mirror to the left side of the wall, in that direction almost, but is not moving. Oops, that was the wrong button.
Moving.
Yes, correct. Seems
Okay.
to be.
All right, I was holding the mirror. Somebody else go investigate.
Not it.
Noosans is just gonna fly over and land on your head.
Well, I
Oh,
guess
Mom,
now we're
that's-
stuck in this room forever.
All right, I'll
The
check.
Medusa's in the door, right?
You look around the doorway, Flint, and you're seeing. First, you're looking down at the feet and following it up to some nice perky breasts and a very frozen head cocked. Also, the snakes that would normally be slithering on top of their head are almost as if frozen in mid place in the air, and there seems to be a little bit of greenish slowly working its way in just from the outside, around the from the outermost portions of the Medusa's skin, very faintly though.
I want to pull out my pistol and shoot her in the head to crack the stone and make it crumble, and tell everyone, don't worry, we're safe now.
When you
I will-
fire, like Noosans kind of shoots out a hoot and flutters back up to the.
You were
Okay.
kind of muffled there, Noosans. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying that Noosans like shrieks out a hoot and flies back to the top of the bookcase
Oh, okay.
at the gunshot.
Roll to hit with advantage there, Flint.
All right. Oh, that's bad.
Good thing you have
There we
advantage.
go.
Yeah.
21.
Roll that damage.
Roll that beautiful bean damage.
Wow.
And the explosion.
Let's see here. That's an 8. Doink, doink. That was piss poor. So
You
5 damage.
you fire just past the Medusa, taking off a snake or two, and they fall to the ground and slither away. And the bullet still strikes just behind her head in the ceiling and explodes and takes another snake off, and it slithers away.
They don't slither into the room, do they?
No, they slither off to either side of the hallway.
Too bad. I was going to have Noosans eat one.
So we have successfully defeated a Medusa.
I'm gonna look at Mamey and be like, go ahead and finish her off with that big ol' axe of yours.
I would if I wasn't holding a mirror. We need this mirror.
Set it against the wall. This one's frozen.
Okay, I can do that. Alright, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna...
Ever so gingerly.
Oh, I forgot So last time we played, my great axe got transformed when I was breaking apart that rock, and now it's called the Bejeweled Great Axe of Justice.
Yes.
Do I have to roll?
Yep. With advantage to
To
hit.
hit?
Yeah.
I feel like it should be the Bejeweled Great Axe of Great Justice.
What it's with advantage? The first one was shit. Oh, the second one's shit too. A natural one. 9. 9 to hit.
Oh, at least it wasn't the natural one, right?
Yeah, well, I've plus 7, so it's an 8 altogether. First one was only a 2.
Oh.
In your
Just
haste,
not on the cards.
you walk forward, all excited to use your new axe, and you whoosh, tink, off the floor.
Glad it's made of sturdier stuff. Alright, well that was fun, I suppose. Next, well, does anybody else want to take a stab? If not, I'll swing again.
I'm gonna cheer on from the sidelines. You got this! Get it again!
Alright, let's try this again. Using the Bejeweled Great Axe of Justice. Roll a 12. Disadvantage again.
Yeah, with advantage,
Guess I
please.
should read this.
This is my own doing because she's restrained.
Motherfucker!
Jesus.
It's a 10.
I love how this party
gonna
can't hit the broadside of a barn.
I'm going to say,
Yeah, no.
in this particular case, you'd gotten a 13. Is that what that first one was? I thought you said 12. See a 13 on my. No, that's something I rolled, I guess. I scrolled too far back up.
Yeah, 12 is the highest that I got.
Oh, okay.
I mean, third time's a charm. I could try again. I feel like this is... I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but go ahead.
I was just trying to think too, like, through it ultimately, and some of the armor class is determined by your own ability to dodge, not just your like the actual armor that you're wearing and whether or not it deflects the blow and so on and so forth. Like it's many varying factors. So I don't think that she would have the same armor class as when she wasn't petrified, essentially, is why I was giving you advantage, which I figured would work, but I guess we're going to say I'm going to have to lower that armor class, and is all, and you hit with that with the first of your advantage on the 12. So...
Yeah, advantage
damage.
generally works out to about a ±4.
Yeah.
Averages out, but it is more helpful when things are hard and less helpful when things are easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was running it, having just looked at the Medusa stats, I'd kind of eyeball the Medusa's AC at about 13. So a 12 hitting isn't, like, really weird.
No, I don't think so either, especially being in the condition she is.
Yeah. Because armor class 15 listed as being because of natural armor, but also a dex of 15.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So... what was that damage?
Let's see. I didn't roll damage, but I will now. Shiny red die. Well, that's doing better. 13.
Okay. I'm just thinking trying to think if there was a better way to do this scenario too. Thinking verbally out loud, because I'll turn on this for a second, because that's actually...
What are you turning on?
I was going to turn on the health bar so that you could see what 13 would technically do, and then I'm like trying to think of a good way to to deal with this, you know?
I mean, anybody's welcome to come help at any time. Or I can just keep rolling.
Well,
Eventually we'll take it out.
Is the Medusa petrified or merely restrained?
Completely. She failed by 5. More than 5.
So I think, are you giving, I think, isn't it auto crits for petrified when you hit a petrified?
Restrained. That's what...
Well, if it's failed by 5, it's petrified.
Petrification lasts until the creature is freed in the greater restoration.
It looks like...
It doesn't really say.
It's the opposite. It has resistance to all damage. Because it's made of stone.
That would make sense too.
Yeah, I was thinking of paralyzed.
So you strike the Medusa and your axe goes into the flesh a little bit, so I guess that still works out in that theory vein of thinking. Goes into the flesh a little bit, but it seems like you're striking stone on the other side because the blade of the axe just slides on through as you would almost cleaved off one of her arms.
Pussy master over here. I just look over and Jess has both the cats in the palm of her hand, and they're just like...
You're interrupting the sculpting that's happening right now.
Do you want to roll again there, Mamey? Or
Yeah, why not?
just roll just keep on swinging?
So I see that I have a...
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it.
I have a stone great axe and I have a bejeweled great axe of justice.
The stone one isn't there any longer. I think I left
Yeah, it's
that
gone.
on inadvertently.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna try with just my regular great axe. I'm gonna put the bejeweled great axe away. We're gonna try this again with just my regular axe great axe. 11 to hit.
Can I do anything to this statue? I don't think I can.
Noosans is gonna fly out and land on top of the statue and just like look for the parts that are cracked and just like peck at them.
There isn't
Beautiful.
really any cracks yet, but you could roll an unarmed strike if that's what you're going for, Noosans. And
Nah. Go
Can
with
I?
the already weakened parts because it would be hilarious if they're like trying to break this statue and Noosans are just like tick tick and one of the snakes falls off or something.
Yeah.
But that's all. Isn't really trying to do much of anything.
Can I cast a vicious mockery on the statue?
yeah, sure. Your second hit, Mamey, is even less effective. It seems like if you'd said you got an 11 after you'd gotten that 12. I don't know.
11.
I
Oh
don't-
yeah, sorry. I guess I should put it in the thing.
I don't know where your rolls are at tonight, but you go to strike in the same shoulder, in between the shoulder and the neck, again trying to cleave the arm off, and you miss slightly, nicking the shoulder, and it just slides down the arm, doing visibly no damage.
I guess the gelatinous cube took all my hit points tonight.
I'm gonna use vicious mockery, and I'm just gonna like look at the statue. I'm just gonna be like, "Your hair looks ratty and nasty.
Oh!
You unkempt hag."
Tick 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 tick.
They need to make a wisdom saving throw of 16.
Whoa.
Your
Damn.
father was a hamster.
He did not.
Okay, then I can roll damage. Which isn't that much, it's just 2d4.
If
Oh
you,
ho!
if you wouldn't mind to, Noosans, just rolling some D.
Rolling a D.
D. Yeah,
any
just
kind of D.
rolling some D. Sorry, there was a little bit of a burp in between there. D4.
Right across
Yeah.
the table, the whole D.
I mean,
Oh, it's squishy.
it's been a while since I went to a party where I rolled a D.
I did
one.
5 damage.
Okay. Total 6. We're down to here. Alright. There's a little bit more cracks that you're creating there, Noosans. Nothing, kind of more like peck marks, and at the insult at Ash, Medusa kind of quakes and a piece of their robe cracks and falls off. Seems
Aha!
like maybe in anger. You're not sure. Because no emotions come through besides the quake.
I said I mocked statues.
It works. I'm gonna try one more time. With how much thing is left? Oh, a fucking lot. Too much. I'm gonna try with the 3 vicious hand axes.
Do you have a hammer?
No.
It's
It's 9 to hit. I just either I need to stop rolling in D&D Beyond, or it's just not. This is not my monster to kill tonight.
Tick tick.
I have a crowbar.
I'm gonna. A crowbar might be very effective. I'm gonna look. Oh, I do have those stone like spider arms. I'll look around to Claw. And be like, Claw, do you have any interest in fucking up a Medusa? Any aggression you would like to let go of?
Roll another D4 for me, Noosans.
2.
Looks over at you, Mamey, and spawns. How long does that spell last there?
1 hour.
That's what I thought. And you hear him saying, not much I can do to stone.
You got claws?
The bottom half is still flesh, right? Didn't you say that? Or was when you described it, the stone was slowly spreading through its entire body.
And you look back at that instance,
Okay.
remembering how Mamey had struck, and you're seeing there is more gray than even the last time that you looked back at the Medusa.
Also, it's slowly, like, fighting, turning into stone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Claw says he has nothing he can do. I'll ask Claw, do you have anything explosive we could use?
And he's... I think Alfred had some spell in his books that he could use. And he taps on a rune that's around the table, and kind of scratches some more into it with his claw, and then strokes it with a tentacle, and Alfred appears on the table with the rune for the pentagram on the table glowing briefly. Yeah. And Alfred goes, "Oh, cold chill down the back of my neck. You called, Claw?" "Oh, you want me to explode a Medusa?" "Oh, okay." Standing on the table, he sees directly over Mamey for a second two Noosans perched atop the Medusa's head and is pecking away. Roll another d4 for me if you wouldn't mind, Noosans.
2.
We're gonna have to probably ask that owl to move politely, and then I could try to see what magic I have going on. He pulls out a book. He starts reading through it.
Oh, I land on the table and try to like look at what the book while he's reading it.
Seems to do with a lot of character sheet loading. Just a sec.
Has to do with a lot of character sheet loading.
Yep.
God, even in medieval times, we have to deal with buffering.
Surprisingly of interest to you, some meta magic is what's scribbled on the front of it. Just
Yeah, definitely
literally
of
the
interest.
title of it is some meta magic, and you see him flipping through past all of the lower level spells quickly that you're familiar with, and lands. He's speed reading. It seems like his hands. He stops for a second on burning hands. No, that's not gonna do it. That's not exactly. There was more written under the side of the margin next to some of the actual notes he's taking. Interesting that. And his hand moves across, reading quickly, and you see him stop again on. That doesn't make it any bigger. There we go. Subtle heightened spell. It reads, and then he starts.
Definitely interested in the heightened spell and like just teetering on the edge of being really annoying to Claw, trying to read and absorb all of the information.
Oh, you mean Alfred? Because
Alfred, yeah.
Alfred's the one reading the book. And so how do you mean that you're doing that? I'm sort of confused. You're like
Okay.
you flew over to in front of Alfred and you're floating, hovering there. I thought you'd said. And when
Well, actually, I had the wrong person in mind, so I had the wrong image in mind. I'm going to be on Alfred's shoulder,
okay.
looking over the book, and like so interested that I'm teetering on the edge of being really annoying, like and getting in his way.
And Alfred looks up at the at you and goes, "Is this owl sentient or something? It seemed pretty interested in this book."
Oh yeah, it does that.
Alrighty then.
Still, like, it doesn't even move from the book. It's just reading.
He then takes a second and he goes, closes the book after reading that last spell out that he'd said there, which is, I'll send it here so you can get the visual of what he was reading. He closes it with his finger in it still for a second, and then puts a dog ear in the book, probably to everyone's frustration. But then he walks off the table.
What?
How dare he?
Who does that?
Walks
Book abuse.
off the table. I do it to all of the code books, but that's because I hate them. Anyways.
Suffer.
Exactly.
Fair, I guess.
And he walks out of the room. I don't know if you're still hovering on his shoulder, or settled on his shoulder there, Noosans, as he was walking.
You said he put the book down?
He put the book
Right.
in his one of his larger pockets.
Oh, well, Noosans, it would, like, fly over and just not try to pull it out of his hands, but grab the book and try to gently, like, pull it out of his hands.
Oh,
Not yank it.
before it was put in his pocket?
Yeah.
Okay. He'd look up at the owl and look down at the book and go, this is my book.
Tug, tug.
Bad.
Tug.
Can you control your bird here, Shadow Seekers? What is this?
That is Noosans, and he's interested in knowledge. Would you happen to be carrying around in your hand?
Oh, that explains some things. So, okay, but this is my book, as I said. I mean, I have another copy, but this is mine. And I was gonna deal with this problem of I guess he's standing more like this, as getting just off of the table, but I was gonna deal with that problem of the Medusa.
Did you say you put the book on the table?
No.
Okay.
He's still holding on to the book.
Noosans
firmly.
finally let go of it.
Okay. And he goes, oh, okay. Maybe I can give the bird the copy that I have. I don't know if... I think actually I'd lent it to Claw. Maybe you'll have to talk to him in a second, and then he just walks straight, determinedly towards the Medusa, puts his hands together, rubs them, and takes a deep breath, kind of circles his hands out around in two wide arc circles, and his hands start to glow, and he places them on the Medusa. And holds on to them, and you see red propagating from right around the face, which is where he'd grabbed, off to the side, not looking into the eyes, obviously, avoiding those as much as possible, but grabbing each side of the face, and the head starts to glow with how much heat is in his hands, as it almost turns into a molten metal, and then he steps back once, twice. Might want to step back there, good sir.
Oi. Joink. Joink.
And then he flourishes his cloak around, or his long sleeves around his hands real quick, kind of shaking them, and then waggles his fingers and
Fingle?
fingle and Yeah. I was just reading through that one again there. It says... That one is... Where's the distance? There it is. Range. Ah, there. Yeah, that's what I thought. 5, 10. Boop. And brings his hands together after waggling them and just says out loud, "Be gone, foul beast!" And a ball of fire that it hadn't been there a second ago just and sails almost majestically, almost too slowly, straight towards the non-moving Medusa and engulfs them. And the ball was the size of a 2 Mameys, probably. In circumference. No, that's the wrong word. In diameter. No, that's still the wrong word. I'm thinking more of like the ball is as big as just, yeah, the diameter of the height of Mamey. There we go. All the way around. Yeah, that makes sense now. And then it strikes, as the flames strike the area, the Medusa disappears in flame, and you just see, as they come back down, a molten pile on the ground of slag. That ought to do it.
Perfect.
Mamey just does like a nice golf clap.
Flint will look at Alfred and be like, "You have to teach me that."
Well, this particular one took quite some years to focus on. As you might be able to see here, there were others that can cast such a thing, but this one was at a much higher level, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, level 9. Yes, I see. Yeah, don't hover over it. Jeesh. A full year of math comes out if you hover over the numbers.
The one...
Math is hard.
Oh yeah, I see them. I see what you're saying. Yeah, there's a lot of math usually involved with spells. I'm glad for the very streamlined versions that are clickable these days.
Back in my day,
we took 76s and threw them at the ground and liked it. And then counted them all up. And then Alfred turns, "I think my job is done here, but I see the threat has neutralized, at least. Shall I tell your friends on the other side?"
Aye.
Oh, right. I don't think they're connected to Claw's rune, so 1 second here, and he just poof, to the teleportation pentagram again. And you're telling, you can tell that more than a second has passed, and you're staring at each other.
Staring contest. Just nice, polite staring contest.
Roll to see who wins?
What? Sorry.
Noosans is just sitting there, y'all.
I heard you, but it didn't register.
Oh, shit.
Wait, did that? No, that didn't work. What the fuck? Clear that. Hit that, roll. Ouch.
Oh, was that your 9 to see if you're winning the staring contest?
Yeah, do I add anything to it?
Nah, not this time.
Okay.
You guys, then Alfred comes back with the larger group of your friends, I guess.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna drag these limp noodles along. And go get some stonework done.
Yes, because now we can travel, freely.
With the mirror by our side.
Yeah. I don't know if we want to venture out or call it a night and come back next time. Because we still have 30 minutes. We're approaching
Yeah, we are approaching.
the end of times.
Yep, it's getting
We've
closer.
been in the
and
end of
closer.
times for thousands of years.
I knew it!
All times end. Immanentize the eschaton.
There are no beginnings or endings, but this was a ending.
I drank a whiskey drink. Drink a vodka drink.
I drink a lager drink.
I drank a cider
drink-
drink.
That's what it is.
And soon I will be pissing the night away.
God, that
I've been
makes
to
so
those
much
parties.
sense.
Is that what the
It's actually-
lyrics are?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Actually, one of my favorite bits in Sumerian religious poetry, which tells you how much of a nerd I am, that I have my favorite bits of poetry that was written 5,000 years ago, involves the god Enki, who's very wise, getting drunk and giving away a bunch of his magic powers to Inanna.
I remember
But
this one.
When the story gets to the part where he wakes up, it says, Enki woke up. The god of wisdom released much water. Enki released much and much water. The wise god of heaven released much and much water. Then,
Ah,
I just love that it includes him pissing a lot. Because I'm a 12-year-old.
Well, not only that, but it's just like I appreciate the older gods for the humanity that they have, as opposed to the newer gods. We'll put it like that.
Negative theology, miss me with that shit.
Yeah.
Negative theology is Maimonides was really enjoyed it in his Guide to the Perplexed. But it's the God is so transcendent that you cannot actually say what God is, because he is more transcendent than any description you could give of him. So you can only say that what he is not. You cannot say that God is good because he is far beyond good, but you can say that God is not evil. You cannot say that God is wise because he's far beyond wisdom, but you can say that he's not foolish. That's negative theology, and I'm just like, miss me.
That's weird. I haven't heard of that one. That one's hard for my brain to accept. Just in the not accept. It's not the right word, but like wrap around.
Well, it's intentionally hard for your brain to wrap around because it's written by people who get really happy about the idea that their God is impossible to understand.
Mm.
And then I'm like, if a God is actually impossible to understand, not hard to understand, like nigh infinitely hard to understand gods are actually really valuable to me. I fucking worship Azathoths, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
But actually impossible to understand. What the fuck is the purpose of that god? That's my opinion. And I've now probably alienated all two of our audience. So I'll be quiet.
Nah.
You just keep listening. We're playing a game.
Don't worry, I'll grow wieners again soon.
Wait, you're growing wieners? I thought you stopped that. I tore that garden out.
I've grown some wieners in my day.
There's no stopping the dickweeds.
Oh, god damn it. They're gonna take over.
I see you've been on Twitter.
Especially when they're planted next to the pussy willows. They get a bunch of kumquat.
I don't think he has been on Twitter.
No, I
don't
don't
think
have
he
Twitter.
Yeah.
Just the statement of you can't stop the dickweeds, but then he went on to make a really good sex pun.
Huh. Well, my sex game is bad, so I gotta do something good with it. So I make puns. Haha, I'm sad.
Well, I mean, don't be sad about that. I honestly, that would get me going. Not gonna lie.
Oh, hey girl, what you up to?
Sex puns.
Yeah.
Can
Gender.
I stick my USB in your USB drive?
We make a
Ooh,
male.
baby.
Oh, that's really bad.
Is it a
Not even a
micro
pun.
USB, a mini USB, or a USB-C?
Oh.
The fact that Josh didn't get that reference makes me sad.
I USB.
We said that in Computer Club all the time.
Which one? I was.
Can I stick my USB in your USB
Yeah,
drive?
we did say that all the time. I was following the chain of the rest of the thoughts from one person to the next, and when Merlin was saying about the type of USB, I was like, I'll USB-C and you later.
Ooh, I like that.
So are we calling it a little bit early today?
It seems like.
Yeah. I'd say let's
We don't
call it.
have to.
Yeah.
I just, wanted to throw that out there.
No, it's the consensus for sure.
Well, then I'm going to get off, but I'm going to throw off a quick advertisement for our recording. Because when this comes out, there will be one more, I think maybe two more games of this to play. But on Todd Moonbounce's Twitch channel, a bunch of awesome people are playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians as a fundraiser for, I believe, for the Treasure Project. And I'm going to go watch it right now because this week's has the creator of Thirsty Sword Lesbians running a game for B Zelda and Pediosaurus and other awesome people. So I'm going to run away and do that.
Hey, that sounds like a lot of fun. Also, side note, I don't think you were in the chat for this one, but we're a Rise affiliate, so we do have those beautiful mushroom drinks along for the ride with us, and you can get 15% off if you put our name in with a 15 after it. So
Ooh, exciting.
for their coupon codes.
I like
If you
mushroom
want any
drinks.
fungal coffee,
It's the best kind. Okay, bye.
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 Good night.
Bye.
A grand and wonderful thank you for those who took the time and made it here, to the end of the episode, where I know sometimes we are long-winded, and others we are just dead silent. I don't know what to tell you. This is raw here, folks. Please remember to like and subscribe, and you can help support us just by listening. But you can also provide even more support, if you like, by going to Anchor FM page and following the support link there. If you do so, I will personally work in an NPC or an idea, whatever you'd like to hear played out. If you want, you can get a hold of us through one of our many options, including voice messages on Anchor FM, or DM to our Twitter, or any other social media that you can find us, YouTube, etc. You can share your ideas, otherwise listen for the shout out and thank you for making it through.